Hi, it's Sandy Parker and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to work on de-stressing. I hope you'll stick around. So a couple years ago, these sensory jars or de-stressing jars were really big on YouTube, but I hadn't seen any lately. And if there's ever a time that de-stressing would be important, now is it. So I'm going to show you using, this is just a pint jar. This is a pickle jar. This is a big plastic bottle from a kind of bottled water. I don't remember the name of it. And this was from Voss water, I think. And it was on a lot of the videos that were done in the past used this kind of water, but they were plastic water bottles. Of course, I couldn't find one. And now that we are kind of not going anywhere, it's not like you can find them, in my house. But with that being said, I wanted to show you one more bottle because you might not want a huge one, or you might not have space for a huge one. And so I had this little plastic bottle in my stash of things, and I took hot water and put in all of these. Now, you don't need hot water for all of them, but the reason I used hot water was because one of these I'm using kids clear washable glue. Now you can also use the white glue, but it makes the look of your jar kind of murky, so I don't particularly recommend that. So I wanted to make sure that we could make this if we have basically just what we have on hand in our house. So I'm hoping somebody has either a pint jar or a pickle jar or some kind of little plastic jar like that, or water bottles that they want to do this with. Then you don't need clear glue. You can also use glycerin. And if you have embossing inks, that's what embossing inks are made of, is glycerin. So if you might have a re-inker for that you could use a few drops of it, because you're only going to use a little bit of this. But glycerin you can buy in any of your pharmacies, and it's vegetable glycerin. Ask your pharmacist. It's not expensive. It's just $2 or $3 if you want to use this. You don't have to use this. You can just use water. The reason you use either the glue, the glycerin, or baby oil is because you're trying to thicken up the water so that when things move in it, they move slower. You want to color your water, and I'm going to use a variety of things. I'm using food colors that I had on hand that were from Walmart. And I think I'm going to make this big one blue. Now don't use much because you want your water to not be super dark. And I'll shake all these as I go, but right now I'm just going to, color them first, and then we'll go from there afterwards. Then I'm going to use this yellow in this little bottle. And again, I'm going to put more water in there. I just wanted to make sure that you saw how much I had now. And then, wow, I've got green in here without a lid. That's never a good thing, is it? I'm just going to take the bottle itself and do that, because that'll definitely color the water, won't it? Yikes. Anyway, so I got to get my finger wiped off because it's all green now. Then, let's say you didn't have food coloring. That's okay. If you don't have food coloring, maybe you have little kids. And if you have little kids, maybe you have Crayola watercolors. And if you do, I'm going to move a couple of these that I've already colored out of the way. Let's say that you have these. All you're going to need is a brush. And you're going to want to take your water. And I'm going to make one of these, I think, maybe red. And then you're going to put it back in the water. It's not going to be like super dark, but the more of this you put in, obviously the darker it's going to get. I'm just trying to make sure you see your options here. And I'm kind of, if you can see, I'm taking the brush and scraping it on the side, because if you do that, then more of the red pigment will come off of the brush. And then, let's see, what color don't we have? Well, we don't have purple, but I don't think I can get all the way down to the bottom of that other one with my purple. Hold on, I want to get a little bit more red in this. It's going to end up being pink, not a biggie. I just wanted to make sure we know all the different options you have. If you use watercolors, leave them open until this is dried hard again, because otherwise they can get moldy. I don't think Crayolas do, but with that being said, I don't know. They could. Okay, so I'm going to put those off to the side. And then I'm going to go over what you're going to put in each one of these. Now, I want to make sure that each one of mine has its own, we'll call it fun component. And so I'm going to choose the components based on the color. Let's try our green first. I'm not going to put anything in our green to make the water thicker. So I'm not going to put any oil, any glycerin, or any glue in there. Although I might put a little glue in there, I haven't decided. The reason is because I'm going to use, in this one, I'm going to use pom-poms. Should I do it in that one, or should I do it in the blue one? Maybe I'll do it in the blue one because it's bigger and you can see it. Or maybe I'll put it in this one because you can, I don't know. We're gonna play a little bit first. I have a bunch of different sizes and colors of pom-poms, and I thought it would be fun. I saw somebody do this where they use pom-poms, and they look really fun floating in the water. And if I color the water a color, then I think it'll be fun to shake them around in there. So I think I'm going to use this little one, just because if I use this little one and we have an issue with it, it won't be that big a deal, because I can get the pom-pom in and out of it. I'm putting a little bit more water in there. And then I'm just going to put different sizes and colors of pom-poms in here. I think I'm going to dump it into this big jar because clearly I didn't think through I would need to have room for them to grow. Okay. I'm going to close this up, and then you're going to want to make sure, if you do this and you're going to use them, or you're going to shake them around, I would really recommend that you glue them shut with either super glue or that E6000. You put a little glue around the inside rim of the bottle, and it makes it so it won't open. But here's the, I don't know if you can see this, here's the point of this bottle, and this is why I liked it so much. It's supposed to make you calm, and I don't know, I really thought watching those pom-poms move around was very calming. And you'll add more water to the bottle tomorrow morning. Once it's all settled, you'd add more water to take it to the top, and then it would be nice and fun to watch. And that's that one. Okay, next bottle. Unfortunately, now we have two green ones because, you know, I had a little problem there. The next one, if you have let's say you have the glycerin like this, we're going to start with different kinds of beads and just pour beads into our jar. And I'm going to use a variety of things because I want this to be interesting looking when it shakes. So I have some smiley faces here that were those table shakers, you know, those things that you get for weddings and birthdays, and hopefully you can see those. I'm going to put some of those in. I might end up putting more in then, but right now I'm just going to maybe put in this many. And then, oh, maybe I'll put them all in. That way I won't have to worry about having a bunch of smiley faces that I haven't used up. There we go. Then you're going to use some, I have some of these little teeny tiny beads. We're going to see how little they are. We're just going to throw a few of those in. I have more beads that I can use. These are a little bit bigger and they're clear. So then what you're going to want to put in there is your glitter. And the glitter you're going to choose depends on the colors you want to add to your project. I have a bunch of these little glitters, like thin glitters from Martha Stewart in all different colors. I got a big set of them, so I'm not going to just be cheap about it. I'm going to use lots of glitter, and in different colors too. You want lots of colors. And we're going to put our lid on nice and tight. Remember, you're going to add more water to these later. Oops, I forgot to put the main ingredient in there, the glycerin. The glycerin is what is going to be the thing that makes it all move slower and make it kind of like a snow globe. So I'm just going to put about that much in. Maybe that was maybe a teaspoon, maybe a little over a teaspoon. And the more you put in of the glycerin, the slower everything will move. So if you don't think your things are moving slowly enough, then add more glycerin. Same with your glue or your baby oil. Baby oil. That's what, couldn't remember the name, baby oil. You want to shake it really good. And the more you shake it, the more your glitter is going to intersperse with everything else. But you're going to need to shake it, because that's the point of this, is it's going to make you calm just by shaking it and watching all these little things move around in here. If you don't think you have enough things in here, and maybe that was why mine doesn't shake up as much, is because my glitter is stuck at the top. Maybe what I want to do is either stir it like this so that you can get that glitter moving around and get it out of the top. We can also take some of that out and replace it with the other things that we put in. And if you don't like it, you can always use like craft stick like this and take off that stuff. But that's glitter, and like I said, the glitter will, over time, it's going to integrate with everything else in your jar. And I don't know if you can see how cool everything is that's spinning around in there, but I was thinking I might add some of these flowers that I got that are, I think they're sequins, but they're just kind of cool. I want as many different things in my jars as I can get so that I'm entertained by them, basically. And it's going to take your mind off of things. You're going to be watching your jar instead of watching TV. You're going to be thinking about how cool this is versus worrying about whatever is going on in the news. That's our goal. We're trying to ignore the news and think about how cool these jars are. There's that jar. Our next jar is one where we're going to use glue. And the glue does a really good job of making the water and the glitter work together. And I have too much water in that jar, I just realized. So I'm going to dump out you only want about a little bit over half of your jar with water in it. And then I'm using this Elmer's clear glue, and I'm just going to take the lid off of it because I'm going to put globs of it in here. So I'm going to put about that much glue, and it's almost the whole bottle in this pickle jar. And this is not a big pickle jar, it's probably a pint. You really want to make sure this is the one that you want the water to be the hottest for, because you really want to make sure that you can shake it well and get everything moving. And the way you get it moving is by shaking it. I'm going to put some of that in there, and some of this purple, and some of this purple. Okay, let's see how we do with this. I'm going to put some fun beads in here. Purple beads, silver beads, and I think I'm going to put some, I can't think what they're called. I was going to say they're called rhinestones, but that's a lie. As soon as I show these to you, you'll know what I mean. You'll go, oh, Sandy, you know what those are called. And no, I still can't remember what they're called, so if you know, just scream it at the screen. Okay, Sandy, come on. You should know what those are. It could be called table scatter, but usually people call them something else. You put them in shaker cards, and I can't think what they're called. And don't forget, because this is glue that I put in here, it's going to be tricky to shake. So you want to be careful when you put all of these things inside. I ran my pickle jar through the dishwasher, so it's nice and clean. And when I did that, the label came right off, which was nice because then I didn't have to do anything. Now keep in mind, you're going to get all these weird bubbles on this, and that's from the glue, and that's okay. It doesn't matter that you have those, because you need time for it to kind of set up. So now we have our last bottle, which is our yellow bottle, and it's the very small one, and we're going to use a lot of the rest of this glue. Or all of it. We just want to make sure our glue is nice and it's, makes the water so that the water will be slow moving. That's what we're shooting for. We're going to go with some golds and some browns in glitter. There's that one. Then I'm going to use this brown. Hopefully that'll be enough. Then I'm going to take some more of these cool flowery things and dump them everywhere. Now that one bottle that was this great big Voss water bottle, I don't think I'm going to do anything with that. It's glass, and it's just, I'm just kind of concerned that it's just kind of too messy. Keep in mind, again, the glue is going to make foam in these bottles, so you need to let them set overnight so that the glue, the foam goes away. But it will go away, trust me. And then you'll want to top off each one of your jars so that tomorrow the water goes all the way to the top. And I'm just going to continue to shake this for a minute. Then tomorrow, once everything is well dispersed within the bottles, then at that point what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake them and show them to you on camera, so you can see that this is gone, that the glitter is no longer sitting in big chunks like this one. See how the glitter's kind of sitting at the bottom? What we're going to do is we'll let these sit, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk about them then. So here we are a day later, and the first thing I'll tell you was I didn't get to top off this green bottle because it glued itself shut, luckily. and I wasn't able to do anything. So I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to show you exactly what it's going to look like. If it was topped off, you wouldn't see this foam, but you know how that goes. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can start seeing how you'll see different components as it shakes. I'll have Rich open it later, and I'll add more water to it. This one isn't the best example because I couldn't open it up and put more water in it. Okay, this one is one of the coolest examples. Okay, can you see what's in it right now? Okay, I'm going to shake it very gently so that you can start to see the things moving, and you'll see different flowers. I'm sorry about the glare. Remember, you're going to want to glue these shut like I did the green one, because you don't want to get everything all over. Okay, I'm going to shake it so that you can see all of the glitter. I might have put too much glitter in this one, although I don't know if you can ever have too much glitter in these, because when things come to the surface, it's kind of like you found something. I don't know, it's kind of like a mystery. And then all of a sudden you'll see flowers that you didn't know were there. It's just kind of cool. And that's that one. This one I think is my favorite. I'm going to just spin it around a little bit for you. And because it's bigger, you have the option to move more things. Hold on, and I'm going to show you once. For some reason, I think I've got a clump that is stuck together, and that made it even cooler. Like the glue stuck together with some of the shaky things in there, I think. Look at me, look at that great big seashell. Isn't that cool? I think these are so intriguing. Rich said, I don't know that it de-stresses me, but for the next 5 minutes he sat there and shook this. So I don't know if it de-stressed him or not, but it definitely mesmerized him. And it's fun to do. And if you have plastic bottles with kids, you'd be able to glue them shut, and kids would be able to look for things. You could put alphabet letters in there. You could put building blocks. You could put anything in there, and then say to your kids, find me a square, find me a circle, find me a star, find me a little circle, find me a big circle. I mean, I think you could do all kinds of fun things like that to keep your kids occupied while we're not allowed to be out and doing things, or we're not supposed to be anyway. Anyway, I think this one is my favorite, and that's the one that's, I think, out of that Voss water bottle. But again, they were plastic online, but this is glass, and so I'm sorry about that. Ooh, here's a fun section right there, and I don't know. As I said, I get mesmerized really quickly like Rich did. You know, the longer you play with it, the more fun you have with it, because then you know what's in there, and you know how fun it is to look for things. Anyway, that is the pink one. Then the very last one, and this is the one that I think would be the most fun for little kids to do, because if you could do it in, the green is way too dark, but I don't know if you can see the pom-poms moving around. So if you had pom-poms in your house in different colors, you could do all kinds of things that are fun with this one, because and I could have put glitter in here, but I chose to make this one as simple as possible so that you had all these options. This is just water, food coloring, and pom-poms. Then this one is water, glycerin, glitter, and some shakeable things. I think this one has, I think it has smiley faces. I'm looking for them. Now this one, has glue in it. And so when you shake this one, you can see things stay on each side for longer. Sorry, I'm moving it probably too quickly, but this one is loads of fun to just kind of tilt back and forth. This is a plastic bottle, so if you had smaller water bottles that are clear, you could use this for you could use that for this. And this one does have glue. It has the clear Elmer's washable clear glue with water and glitter and all kinds of shakeable things. I put beads in there. I put flowers in there. I put different shaped table scatters There's a lot of table scatters in this one. You can see them really good right there. You can use them for kids. You can use them for adults. Clearly, people like me, Rich and I both, are just mesmerized by these. So I'm hoping that this gave you an idea of something that you can do. If you don't have food coloring, I colored one of them with the pink one. The pink one I colored with watercolors from Crayola. And all I did was I just kept dipping my brush into the red paint and then sticking it into the water before I added the glue. So I hope you enjoyed this. It gave you an idea of something to do while we're kind of caught at home. I hope that you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And please stay in, stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.